What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about Alan Wake 2 coming to Gamescom. That's the short of the news. It's actually seemingly a pretty big day for Alan Wake 2. We got the Gamescom announcement. I do want to speculate in this video as to what they will show, but then also there was a piece being written on it. Now, I can't get the thing. I'm not subscribed to the magazine or whatever it is, Edge Online. It's a 16-page feature on Alan Wake 2. I don't know how much information came from that, but kind of in promoting it, they also talked about Gamescom, that there's some information there in terms of the quest to, get Alan Wake 2, make the game through these 13 years, and then there's more things to show and talk about at Gamescom. So seemingly a pretty big day for the game. Now, in terms of what they need to show, well, I got one thing for you, and it's Alan Wake himself, okay? No disrespect to the new, dual protagonist in Saga Anderson, but we've actually seen some pretty limited amounts of stuff on this game, right? We're getting pretty close to it coming out. I've talked a good amount on this game in that I'm a little worried about its sales. How well is it going to do commercially, being sandwiched in between Super Mario Wonder and Spider-Man and, Assassin's Creed Mirage before it. It's got stiff competition, and this is not necessarily this gigantic blockbuster IP. It's a game that's done well over time and has a very dedicated group. And then what they've shown so far, well, number one, it hasn't been much, so I am excited that Gamescom seems to be kind of this jumping off point that maybe we'll see something there and then we'll see more stuff, as September goes, obviously then October. But in what we've seen, very little of it is Alan Wake, like literal, the character Alan Wake. Now, it's about a 50-50 game, right? Like half of it's going to be with him, half of it's not. But at the same time, he's the title, like the game is called Alan Wake 2, title character. There's already some people upset that he's not even just the only character, and we just haven't really seen a lot from him. Now, I imagine most of that reasoning is because a lot of his stuff is going to be spoiler heavy. That's my speculation, at least, that, the game is deep with lore, and even the lore of Alan Wake so far, and Control and all that, and I just think Alan specifically, even the first, mission or two that you play with him, it's going to be very, very deep. I don't know how well that plays off in, showing it for people, right? So there's probably those kind of behind the scenes reasons why Saga makes more sense. She's the newcomer to it, much kind of like we are, right? Or people that haven't played the first Alan Wake, she kind of represents them, and that makes a lot of sense to show her off. But at the same time, I think we got to get some Alan Wake literal character gameplay. So that's what I really hope we would see. They don't say whether it's a trailer or gameplay or whatever. I do think it'll be gameplay, but they just say that don't miss the brand new reveal. So they just call it a reveal from Alan Wake 2 during the live stream on August 22nd. I'll actually be co-streaming it, so if you want to watch it, live with me, I'll be watching it. So I think the reveal is gameplay. I think it's too early. They've already done, technically one pretty sizable trailer. They did a reveal trailer. I guess they've really only done two in all, but they've shown a little bit of gameplay again. So I think honestly this time it's going to be gameplay. I think we're too early for a launch trailer, obviously, right? That's probably in October. Maybe there's some sort of trailer, maybe gameplay trailer. That's probably what they would call it. And then another interesting news thing we got for Alan Wake today was talk from the game director about Resident Evil. That Resident Evil is an influence of the game. I wanted to kind of throw that into this video because I do find that interesting. It's not surprising, but that kind of claustrophobic, almost tunnel thing that they do, that Resident Evil does, and also Alan Wake 2 is doing. They say that it kind of helps make the enemies feel more powerful and feel more scary, right, being right in front of you. I kind of get what they mean, and look, the new Resident Evil games, any Resident Evil games, I know people have obviously some things about 5 and 6, but it's a pretty good franchise, at least, or especially now, to copy. So if there is going to be an influence that you want for your horror game, Resident Evil, I think, is a pretty good choice. Let me know what you think about all this in the comments. Make sure, as always, you're subscribed, bell icon turned on, and I hope to see you all on the next one.